Hello and welcome back to the Coder's Legacy channel. In this video, we'll explore how to use PyTest and Selenium together. PyTest is a very popular library. It's a testing framework that's used to manage and automate tests. And Selenium is a UI automation library. It's really great for UI testing. That's what we're going to be doing in today's video. Today's video is actually a very practical video where we take this website. This is a nice sample website that has been created for the purpose of automation testing. So we're going to take this website and we are going to simulate a login and turn that into a test case. We're going to use PyTest to turn this into a test. So what we're going to be testing, like let's imagine this is our website. So we're going to be testing whether our login feature works. We're basically turning this into an automated test. Okay, so let's begin. So we're going to define a function. So we'll call it test successful login. Okay, now what we're going to do is set up Selenium first. So we'll do service. Now the way you set up Selenium might be a bit different because what I'm going to do is use this library called the WebDriver Manager. You can install it and follow along, or you can set up Selenium however you want to. Okay, this is how you install it. It's a pretty convenient library. You don't have to download and maintain the web drivers yourself for different browsers. This does it automatically. So it's pretty cool that way and convenient, most importantly. So I'm going to create a driver and webdriver.chrome. I'm using Chrome. You can follow along in any other browser. Okay, this does not make a difference. Okay, the browser you are using has no effect on this video. Okay, so it's going to pass the service object that I created, and now my driver is ready. We'll just make the end command here as well, driver.quit, for when we're done. Next, we do driver.get. We'll copy paste the URL in here for the website that we are testing. Now, what we're going to do is take a look at these HTML elements. This we'll do inspect, then we'll check this element. Okay, we can see that this input element is the username text field. Okay, and similarly this over here is for password. Now we look for some kind of unique identifier. We can see here that the ID, these both have an ID. This one has ID username and this one has ID password. So what we can do here, we need to find these. Okay, we need to locate these using Selenium. So we need that ID, which is a unique identifier, to locate them. So we'll do driver.findElement and we'll do by ID. Make sure to import this by. That way you can use this. Okay, then over here we're going to pass in the ID which we want to locate, which is username. And let's just return and store the element in here, username. Okay, then we'll do username dot send keys. This is basically sending data to the input element. What are we going to send? Student. Why? Because student is the credentials, the correct credentials that will log us in. Okay, so we'll just pass password in as well. We'll just copy paste this, change this to password, and this will be password 123. Okay, now once we have done this, we need to click on the button. We need to click on this submit button. We need to simulate a login, simulate a user action, simulate a click action. So what we're going to do, again, we'll take a look at this. We have noticed that the ID here is submit. That's the unique identifier that we'll look for. So we'll do driver.findElement by ID, and then we'll do submit. Okay, then we'll do button.click. That's it. That's all we had to do. So now what do we do? Well, what we're going to do now is, first of all, I'm just going to show you what happens. Okay, we do this, we pass this in. Let's do this ourselves first. We click submit and we log in. We get logged in. All right, there. So how do we know that we've logged in successfully? I mean, we can see in front of us, right, that this page has appeared. So what happened was that we see this message, and we know that we have logged in, right? So we need to now tell Selenium, we need to somehow through our code find out whether we have logged in or not. How do we do so? Like, this is the click event. What we'll do is like put a sleep for 3 seconds to let the next page load, and now we need to figure out whether we have logged in or not. Okay, we need to find out which page we are on. Are we still on the login page, or are we on this login successful page? How do we do that? Well, the most universal way of doing this, like everyone does this, what you're gonna do is look for some kind of unique element on this page. The most obvious element is this. You can identify this element as a unique element that exists only on this welcome page. What we're gonna do is look for this title. It's a h1 tag. It's also a good thing to use unique elements like that. It's a h1 tag. Only h1 tag exists per page, so it's a good thing to use that. We'll use xpath. It doesn't have an ID, so it has a class, so we can do that. It doesn't have an ID, so this is what we have to do. You have to be flexible and not just rely on one way of finding elements. So we'll do h1 class is equal to post title. Although we don't need to do this because there only is one h1, so we don't need to specify which h1. Get it? This is just an extra precaution, and it's also a good thing to, for me to show you. Okay, so this is what we're doing. We're basically saying that look for this element, look for the h1, or actually there's a better way of doing this. I'm just going to remove this, and I'm going to do text is equal to, then I'm going to copy this. Okay, now what I've done here is I've said look for the h1 with the text logged in successfully. Okay, so this if this is found, let me just write this out. Honestly, it'll be easier, I think, if you see this is displayed. Assert, sorry. So what I'm saying here, that if this title is found, that's what is displayed does. It returns a bool whether it's visible or not. So if this is found, then this test case will return true, because that means we are on the welcome page. If it is not found, if this is false, then the assert will fail, and that means that we are not on the login page. That means we're on some other page, which is going to be, that means we're not on the welcome page, we're still on the login page. Get it? So that is basically what's going on here. Now, what you can do to run this is PyTest, then I'll mention the file. I have a lot of files here, so I'm going to specifically mention which file it is. Python selenium.py. And whoops, oh, I didn't save this. Okay, let me do that again. And this should, it's going to actually open up the browser. I'm not doing anything. This is all happening automatically. The cool thing is that we can actually see the text go in and the button being clicked. So you'll see that happen. Okay, the button has been clicked. You can see it's loading. That small message down here. Okay, and we've logged in successfully. Good. So if everything went well, we should see a pass written over here, and there we go. Good. Passed. We've passed the test. So that's how we can do it. It's pretty straightforward. You can customize this however you want to, really. There wasn't really anything unique about this. You can customize this part of the logic however you want to. You can customize this part according to your test, whatever. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and see you guys in a later video. Bye then.